reviewed Jameson before?
I don't know, I just kind of got sidetracked with lots of new or kind of unique whiskies. It just came to my attention that we've never reviewed Jameson before. So that's what we'll be doing this week. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt and I'm a whiskey nerd.
My name's Rose and I'm a whiskey noob.
And like I said, this week we're looking at Jameson blended Irish whiskey. So let me get into the glass and I'll tell you a bit more about it.
Yeah, I think everyone pretty much knows about Jameson. I'm so surprised that we've never done Jameson here. No, it's probably like one of the most well-known whiskeys, right?
Jameson is one of the best-selling and well-known whiskeys around the world. I mean, it's very distinctive. It's got that green bottle. It's also a pretty decent whiskey. You might remember we did a video where Rose blind ranked a bunch of different entry-level Irish whiskies, and Jameson, despite being the mass market, everyone knows Jameson, it ranked pretty highly on that list.
Yeah, it did. I do remember doing that, but it probably does it for a reason, right?
Yeah, it's a good whiskey. It's a solid whiskey. It's a blended whiskey, so that means it uses a lot of grain whiskey, but also some pot still whiskey in there. Now, pot still whiskey is a style of whiskey that's unique to Ireland. It's going to have a bit more spiciness, a bit more depth, a bit more character.
Well, it is Irish whiskey.
Yes, exactly. So it's going to have more depth and more character because of that. They also have a little bit of it that's been aged in sherry casks. That's going to give you some more fruitiness and more nuttiness rather than just that standard kind of bourbon cask finishing that most entry-level whiskeys go for.
And you can probably get it anywhere, right?
Oh yeah, this can be found pretty much anywhere. In small bottles or big bottles, it's very, very widely available.
Probably great for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, also, if you want to see different alternatives to Jameson, make sure to check out the video I put out on Monday this week, because that was all the different alternatives to Jameson that you might want to try out for St. Patrick's Day. So this isn't really a very complicated whiskey. I mean, it's definitely got a lot of flavour to it. So let's go in for the nose and see what we find.
Okay. Well, it's a gorgeous looking one.
Yeah.
First of all.
Now, Jameson.
It smells so sweet, candy, sugary sweet.
Very sweet. You got that kind of grain, almost like a kind of a sugar cookie grain sweetness to it.
Yeah.
But there's also vanilla, a bit of fruity sweetness to it there.
Yeah. I don't think I've even had Jameson in I don't know how long. You've had me try all sorts of other whiskeys.
Normally you'll have Jameson mixed. So Jameson
and ginger ale.
Yeah, Jameson ginger ale. It's classic,
that
simple,
is true.
easy cocktail.
Yeah.
Now, go in and have a smell, but think of a blueberry muffin. You get vanilla, sugar, bit of grain sweetness, bit of berry sweetness.
If you wanted to get more specific, it could be one of the blueberry muffins from an American Starbucks with a ton of sugar coated on top.
Yeah, where you got that kind of sugar glaze on top. Yeah, so that's kind of... I always think of a blueberry muffin like that.
It smells like Starbucks now.
It smells like Starbucks. So, anything else you're getting?
Not much. It's just it's almost overpoweringly sweet, very hardcore sugar heavy sweet.
Yeah, it's not going to be the most complex whiskey in the world. It's not meant to be a complex whiskey. This is meant to be a whiskey that's easy to enjoy, entry level, kind of a beginner can enjoy it, or a more seasoned drinker, they can put in a cocktail and they can just enjoy it. So
yeah, if you want a muffin in a whiskey.
A muffin in a whiskey. Let's go in for the palate. Okay.
It's like drinking candy.
Yeah, it's very sweet. Now, it does have a little bit of an aftertaste.
Yeah, a bit of a burn.
Yeah, that's that kind of ethanol, because there would have been a lot of grain whiskey in here. They can kind of mass produce that grain whiskey. Okay. They can get a lot of alcohol out of it. So it is...
I think I get what you're talking about, ethanol. Kind of like when you have a cold, right?
Sort of. I'm not sure what you mean.
Right.
So it's got that little bit of kind of almost metallic. Some people describe it as being kind of brittle or shiny, where it's hard to describe a flavour like that, but where it's just got that little bit of a burn, a little bit of kind of almost an artificial whiskey taste.
Maybe, yeah. The other whiskeys we typically have are usually you pick out little particular notes and everything. This is a little bit more less, but that might be why it's more of a entry-level whiskey, because I can just imagine getting overwhelmed by so many flavors and everything. If you just want a nice intro or something that goes in cocktail, like it's sweet.
Yeah.
Like it goes well in a Jameson and ginger ale for a reason.
Now, you might remember it, and if you haven't seen it, make sure to check it out. There was a video where we had you try and find the most expensive whiskey.
Ah!
And she was able to identify the most expensive whiskey because it was the one she liked the least.
Yep.
Because it was the most complex. It had so much to unpack. It was a 16-year-old single cask strength. It had a lot in there and it was just too much for your taste.
Because I remember partway through I was like, oh, I'm going to guess it based off of what I like the least in there. And it was quite easy after I figured that part out.
Yeah. Whereas this, again, like we said, it's sweet, vanilla, a bit of berries, a little bit of spice, but not really a huge amount to unpack in here.
Yeah.
But very easy to drink.
Yeah, definitely give it a go. Like, you should try. Like, you never know what kind of whiskey you're going to like. This is just, like, guiding. This is just, like, our opinion. So you just give it a try and see if you like it or not.
Yeah. So going for the finish, again, it has a very short finish. Is there anything that hangs out for you, that stands out as being the finishing note?
I don't know. When you're talking, like, it is very short and light.
Very light, yeah.
Yeah, like that. Maybe it's that, was it ethanol?
The ethanol, the alcohol, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's it. But it's quite light. Like, it just feels light and airy, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, again, that ethanol note, if you put it into a Jameson ginger ale, it completely hides. That bit of extra sugar completely hides it. It's a nice whiskey. It's just, it's entry level. It's basic.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it, really. Like, it's if you try other entry level whiskies, you're gonna get that kind of ethanol note. You're gonna get that kind of short finish. So it's nothing different than any other entry level.
Yeah. But give it a go. You never know, right?
So I think that's all we have to say about that. It's very short and sweet, but like I said, the whiskey is quite short and sweet.
Yeah, I think it's almost like we've had so many other whiskeys. Like, I didn't really drink whiskey at all before this, so I probably would have a completely different view of Jameson. But because I've tried so many other whiskeys, I've been educated a little bit more on, like, different tastes and notes and complexities and everything like that. Like, I just, like, it's a nice entry-level whiskey, but, like, some of the other ones I like way more because I can appreciate it better.
I think that's actually a very good point. Like, if you're getting into whiskey or if you're not really a whiskey drinker, this is a good whiskey. Don't get me wrong, it's the best-selling whiskey for a reason. It is a solid whiskey. It's an easy-to-enjoy whiskey. But just if you're used to going into a whiskey and going, oh, what kind of fruit am I getting? Oh, what kind of... Am I getting an apple or a pear? If it's an apple, is it a green apple or a red apple? If you're looking to go into that kind of depth, Jameson isn't going to satisfy you. But if you're not used to going into that kind of depth, like Jameson...
Happy days!
Yeah, it's an easy-drink whiskey. It's very entry-level. It's very affordable. And for St. Patrick's Day, I mean, it's pretty much perfect for you.
And make a Jameson ginger ale.
So I think that's all we have to say about this whiskey. If you want to see more from us, we put out whiskey reviews every Wednesday and cocktail recipes every Friday. So subscribe, you'll see them all. And until next time, sláinte.
Bye bye.